Rep the South Side whenever you pay with your White Sox debit card from Wintrust Community Banks and score perks like free ATMs, no monthly fees, and a $300 opening bonus. Pay with pride every time with Wintrust, Chicago's bank.
Hey everybody, it's Chuck Garfien. Welcome back to the White Sox podcast. It's brought to you as always by our great friends at Wintrust. Show your team pride with the White Sox debit card. Get yours at wintrust.com/Sox. Member FDIC, EHL lender. All right, on the pod today, we're talking hitting. And we're talking hitting with the hitting coach of the White Sox, Marcus Thames. And what do we get into? We're talking about runners in scoring position. We're talking situational hitting. We're talking identity. What kind of identity does this team want to have from a hitting standpoint? We get into Luis Robert Jr., Miguel Vargas, Kyle Teel, and more. And once upon a time, Marcus Thames was the hitting coach for Aaron Judge in AAA and in the majors with the New York Yankees. Great insight about what it was like coaching Aaron Judge and a whole lot more. We're going deep in the weeds with the White Sox. The hitting, the offense. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with Marcus Thames. It's next. All right, joining me is the hitting coach for the White Sox, Marcus Thames. And Marcus, listen, the toughest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball. Your job is to be a hitting coach where there's so much failure involved. What is it like being a hitting coach for a Major League Baseball team, considering how tough it is to hit a baseball?
It's not too tough, you know. It's all about building relationships and let my guys know that I have their back, and we're going to do whatever we can to try to get them in the best possible position to have success. Yeah,
well, you look at last year's team, and as you know, that you guys finished last in the majors in runs by over 100 runs, but now there is progress. What kind of progress are you seeing from this team offensively so far?
You know, I tell everybody, like, if you didn't learn anything from last year, something's wrong with you, you know. So just going into the offseason, like, just trying to build plans with our baseball ops department and everybody getting together and trying to make this thing go in a different direction than it did last year. I just think making sure we have everything and leaving no stone unturned so we can get better. I think it started with just really getting our guys to focus in on their strengths and not their weaknesses. And I think sometimes we get caught up in like what I can't do and we forget, what got them here. So that's been our main focus, is on make sure our guys understand their strengths. And then we're going to work on our weaknesses, but it's all about making sure we're getting good pitches to hit.
I'm loving the walks. You guys were last couple of years in walks. Now you're middle of the pack. What has been that process been like? Is it because, well, you've got Luis Robert, who is now drawing more walks than Mydroth's here, or is there a different mindset and different execution going on?
Oh, we got a couple of different guys in the lineup. That also helps guys that have had success in the minor leagues and in the big leagues by having good ABs and not giving away at bats, and it can become contagious. So just guys are trusting the guy in front of them, trusting the guys behind them, and it's been fun here lately, and hopefully we can keep it going. We have our hitters meetings, and everybody goes through what they're going to do, and I think that's, I always talk about a hitters meeting. It's about the hitter, not about the coaches. So we just want to hear what they have to say and during the game and see if they carry out their plan and their approach. It's been good so far.
Can you take us inside those hitter meetings? What are they like that you can share? What the communication is like? What the camaraderie might be like? What is it right now?
We get in there, man, and we play some music. Whoever wants to pick some music.
You play music?
Play a little music. Whoever wants to pick it, and play some music. Keep it loose, and then we get to business. We dissect the picture, and then we talk about us. I always talk about if we control what we can control, they're in trouble. So let's make sure we're doing what we need to do first, and we do that. We dissect the picture, and then like I said, we go through each player that's in the lineup that day and just hear them out, making sure that they're doing their homework before they come into the hitters meeting and before the game. But I think that helps a lot. But just getting in there and let those guys be comfortable talking about their game plan, I think it's important.
You played in the majors. You know what it's like to hit with runners in scoring position. Yeah. We talk about this, 𝗦𝗍cie and I, all the time, and it's a statistic, it's a situation that this team has struggled with. How are you guys battling that, and how What are you doing? What can you do to improve it?
You know, it started this spring. You know, we talk about it, and then we go out and we have game situations, and we just put the guys to work so they can have it in their mind before it happens at 6:40 or 3:10, whatever it may be. But I was talking with 𝗵𝗍 𝗍𝗶𝗹 this morning, who's somebody that I played with, who knocked in a lot of runs. We're just talking about, you know, you have to make sure you do it before the game starts. Just visualizing, you know, on the bench, like the situation might come about. If you're putting your mind to it in the dugout before you get in the box or on the on-deck circle, the game will slow down for you in the situation. You know, you've been through it already in your mind, so it won't speed up. So just trying to get the guys to stay in the game, stay in there at bat, and just try to help their teammates out and have team ABs. And I think experience also helps, but we're trying to get it done. You know, we talk about it a lot. We're training every day, like making sure guys are having that mindset when they get in the box. So we're starting to move the needle with that too.
When you say visualize it, you're talking about before the game, thinking about what might happen, and because by doing that, you're more prepared for it?
Just visualizing, like, you know, like if you're on deck, like, man, like, all right, runner at second. If this guy moves to third, like, what's my plan going to be? So once I get in the box, I can go and execute. And I just think it slows the game down. And I think a lot of time guys get in those situations and they're like, I want to hit the ball in the air. I want to hit the ball on the ground over here instead of being on time and still getting a good pitch. And I think it starts with that.
Situational hitting. We love, when I talk with I say 𝗦𝗍 and I, we love when you guys lay down bunts. You put your team in the best position to score runs.
Yeah.
Can you speak to the thought process of situational hitting on this team, moving guys over, hitting to the opposite field?
It's trusting your teammate, you know, and want to have a team at bat. I think that's where it starts. Just in the past, like, I think sometimes we get in that situation, it's become so big and it's like me instead of the team. And I think once you start thinking about the team, you get buy-in, and like this group of guys that we have right now, they're talking about it. You can hear them on the bench talking about it. Like 𝗵𝗍 last night, you know, a runner at second base. He got jammed, but he moved the runner. He hit a ground ball to second base. We got a runner to third, and we ended up scoring a run. I just think it's awesome to see, but we just got to keep talking. If you keep saying it over and over and over again and keep practicing it, it's going to start happening.
If you were to have an identity for this team, if you don't have it yet, what would you like the identity of this team, this offense, to be?
We want to grind pitchers down. I think the last two starts against 𝗏𝗍, we had him at 80-something pitches in 4.5 innings. Last night with Lugo, he was up to 90 pitches in 5. And guys like that throw strikes. And if you can get 7 walks out of a team like the Royals, like last night, man, we're starting to move the needle. So just keep preaching, keep teaching, and keep giving these guys confidence, and good things are going to happen.
All right, so 𝗬𝗏 Robert Jr. takes 3 days off, comes back. His first game, got 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and he wasn't crushing the ball. He had a 2-run single, exit velocity 71 miles per hour, opposite way. How is he different now? You can't flip a switch, obviously, and all of a sudden he's this. But where is he now, and where did he come from?
Just having confidence in himself, just making sure he's got confidence in himself. And Lewis, he's been grinding. It's been hard. You look up at the scoreboard and you're hitting 185. You know, it's not fun. So, you know, just a little bit of a reset, just going in behind the curtains and really diving into like what's happening in the box and stuff like that. But just making sure he's in a good position to hit. No, we don't need for him to hit it 450 feet. We just want him to have a good at bat. And he's one of the most talented players in this league, and he's got to believe it. But, you know, at the same time, when you look at that scoreboard and you're not hitting well, it stinks, right? But our job as a staff is to make sure he's confident, and he's got to put in the work and trust his talent. He has a lot of talent. And another thing, just making sure he's doing his homework, and that's going to be one of the key things for him moving forward.
Physically, what did he do different to change and get better?
It was more of a mindset thing, you know, just backing the ball up. When he's at his best, he's driving the best fastball to right center. So just getting back to that, not trying to pull the baseball, standing a big part. When he does that, he's going to give himself a chance. He's big and strong. He doesn't need to jump out at the baseball. So trusting that move and not letting the game speed up on him.
Miguel Vargas has come a long way.
Yeah.
What has he shown you?
This kid, at the end of last year, he said, help me. He wanted help. You know, all winter long, you know, he would send us videos back and forth and show us what he was doing. Took it to spring training. It was good. And season started. He started off slow, but we didn't stop working. He didn't stop working. And it's just been a group effort of making sure he's sticking with what he wanted to do. And he's always hit. You know, last year, when he got traded over, it was tough. But you go back and look at his minor league numbers, I always tell people this: hitters hit. And so he's confident now, and he's a little bit stronger too. And so he's having fun, man. He's a talented player, and we're starting to see, why we traded for him.
When Kyle Teel comes up here, do you just let him be, or do you actually have his back, say, I'm looking, I'm watching this, I'm watching that? How does that work?
No, we had him in spring training. He's a baseball rat. He's really talented. I told him yesterday when I first saw him, do what you was doing down in AAA. And the game's still the same game. Make sure you keep your same routine. Routine is really vital. And he's talented, man. And just the energy that he brings, it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, a few more questions. One is about Aaron Judge. You get this question, I'm sure, a lot, but I mean, it's fascinating to me that you were his hitting coach in AA?
AAA.
Just
AAA.
Okay, AAA, and then in the major leagues,
in the
right?
big leagues, yes.
So how did he evolve as a hitter? Because even in AAA, he wasn't the Aaron Judge that we see today.
No, Aaron, he's really a cerebral guy. He's smart, he's athletic, and everybody sees the size. He's a big guy, but he's a really good athlete, man. And he wanted to be good. He got to the big leagues, and he got beat up a little bit. His first year, he struck out over 50% of the time. He made a huge adjustment that winter. He went and found somebody with his agency to help him out, and kudos to him. He went to work, and he came back in 17 in the spring, made the team, ended up winning Rookie of the Year. But what I'm seeing now doesn't surprise me. This is a guy that struck out like 12 times in a row, but he was on the top step cheering for his teammates. And when you see that, that's somebody that wants to win and wants to be in the game a long time. But he's talented, man. He always wants to be the best, and he works his tail off every single day. I'm not surprised by what I'm seeing.
From a physical standpoint, you'll hear the comparisons between Aaron Judge and George Walco, who's in the White Sox system. He's 6'7", left-handed hitter, outfielder. Have you worked with him at all, or is he just so low down in the minor leagues you don't talk to him yet?
No, he's been around and come around in spring training, but just walking by the cage when he's hitting, it sounds different. It sounds different. But from all the guys that I hear in the system, all our hitting coaches, he's a great kid. He's got some talent, and hopefully here soon that talent will hit and stick, and he'll get rocking and rolling.
Speaking of rocking and rolling, your first major league at bat. First major league at bat, this was 2002. You're facing Randy Johnson, one of the best pitchers in the game, and the first pitch of your major league career, what happened?
You know what? You said something earlier. You talked about situational hitting. It was kind of a crazy night. Shane Spencer hit a double, and it's runner at second, nobody out. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Willie Randolph at third base, the third base coach, seeing what sign he's giving me. I thought he was going to give me the bunt sign. I was a little nervous about that, like facing him. But overall, man, I was just trying to get a pitch to move the runner, and he left the fastball up, and I wanted to drive it in the big part of the field, and it went out, man. But it was great. I'll never forget about it. But it was a good start of my career.
Did you ever get the ball?
Yes, I did. I got the ball. Randy choked one of my teammates. He was in the bullpen. He jumped up on a net out in Monument Park at old Yankee Stadium and got the ball, and it's in my office to this day.
I mean, everyone's going to get their first major league hit.
Yeah.
They don't always get a home run. They don't always get it off a Hall of Famer, and yours is on the first pitch. You were blessed that day.
It was a dream come true, and it was awesome, and I was just really appreciative of all the people that helped me along the way.
There are hitting coaches who did not play in the major leagues, but how much weight does that carry, that you can talk to the hitters on this team and you can say, yeah, I stepped across the line, I did in the major leagues, listen to me and what I have to say?
It's I had this conversation with somebody earlier today, just talking about that, right? Yes, I play, but it's also understanding people and understanding like the game. Yes, I play, but it's also like you really have to know and be in certain situations, but also continue to learn from different people and different scenarios. So yes, being a player helps, but also players knowing that you care about them, because they don't care what you know until they know you care.
Well, you guys are, I think, trending in the right direction. Certainly feels that way. Is that how you feel? Yeah, the needle is moving, man. You can feel their energy. You can feel it, like I said early on in our meetings. Like, we're starting to get where we want to be. Okay. Marcus Thames, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right. 𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗀, a good hitter in his day as well. Take it away.
All right, Art Chuck, this edition of the White Sox podcast is over.